Alright, in today's video, we are going full-on nerd mode. As you may know, I love to read books. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get done twice as many books this year as you did last year. So if you don't know how many books you read last year, that's fine. So how do you read twice as many books? Let's just start with a benchmark here. Here's the conversion code. It's about 162 pages. So the average person reads about 250 words a minute. So obviously if you could speed up your words per minute to 500, 600 words per minute, with your comprehension being higher as well, you're going to knock off one of these books twice as fast. So, using the conversion code as an example, there is a couple of ways that you can obviously double your reading speed. One of those is, this is mentioned, if you want to go into a little bit more depth, you can look at Tim Ferriss's speed reading video on his YouTube channel. But basically he talks about drawing a line down a third of the page on each side, and then basically you just take your fingers and you can take two fingers if you want, and you just go down like this, and you focus on the middle page, the middle part of your page. Focus on that. Now that works. It takes a little bit of practice to do that, and you screw up your book by writing down the columns. I remember I had about, I think it was like 4 or 5 books where I used a highlighter, and then what I would also do was I would write down, I would time myself at the very first page, for example, just say the introduction. So I would start a timer on my phone, which is right there. I would start my timer and I would just start reading, and then I would put the time it took me to read and how many words. If everything is based off of a minute, for example, I would write down how many words on the bottom of your page that you read per minute. So WPM. So, I mean, you obviously have to count how many words there are on a page, and what you'll figure out is there's going to be an average. So you figure out how many words on this page, how many words on that page, maybe 3 or more pages, and that's going to be your average. And then once you time yourself, you can do this for each page. Just time yourself for a minute and see how far you get, and then figure out how many words you read. And then what you can do is you can just say, you know what, I am just going to read 4 pages and set the timer and see how long that takes me. All this kind of stuff. You basically make it a game. The more you do this, the faster you're going to get. And here's an interesting thing as well. If you are reading sales books, like I read a lot of sales books, you're going to get through the material faster naturally. Why is that? Because your comprehension is higher than normal. If I were to read Dune, for example, it's going to take me probably all year to read that book, because I saw the movie and I'm like, I don't understand these clans, these families, all this kind of stuff. I get the idea of what's going on, but I'll have to watch it again. My son can plow through books like this, science fiction books that are like 600-700 pages. He can do that in like a month. It's crazy. I can't do that. I can't do that with science fiction. I just, for whatever reason, it takes me forever to read. I tried to read Red Rising and all that. It took me forever. It just took me forever. But when you're reading business books, fiction, nonfiction, I should say, the more familiar you get with the material, like if they're talking about objection handling, there's pretty much only so many ways to handle an objection. You're going to get to think about it. I need to talk to my spouse, and the price objection. There's going to be variations of that, but once you see it, your eyes will actually skim a little bit faster because the material is familiar with you. So that's one of the reasons why I read business books faster, because once you get to familiar territory, your eyes naturally skim faster because your comprehension is higher. So if that makes sense. That was one of the reasons why I was able to blow through this book in less than a day. And realistically, if a guy focuses really hard, you can probably knock this book off in about an hour. I know, sounds crazy, but I'm going to show you how. So that's one way. Another way is using your Audible. If you have an account with Amazon, you can just double the speed. So if the book, like on here, it shows that it's about 6 hours to get through this book at a normal speed. So I'm not sure what the word count is that Amazon is using to get through the book. But when you look at Audible, it's about 6 hours. So obviously you can double the speed on your Audible and you'll knock it off in 3 hours. If you 4 times the speed, obviously you can knock it off in a couple of hours, hour and a half, something like that. And then another way is using your Kindle. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but let's just have a look at this real quick here. So here is my library of books. So let's just go to the conversion code. And then I'm going to show you an option here. Let's go, if you look at the 3 little buttons, you see all this menu here. So it has about the book, sync to the furthest page read, go to page location, my notebook, flashcards, which is another quick way of getting familiar with the book, word runner. So that's what we're going to show. We're going to go to word runner. So let's click on word runner. And then basically at the bottom, you'll see it has 50 words per minute, a gauge, and then all the way up to 900 words per minute. The people that read really fast, the speed readers, are 1,200 words and beyond. So that just gives you an idea of how crazy that is. So what you do is you actually hit play. So it's at the slowest speed. So it's 50 right now. So this is what happens. So that just shows you how fast you can actually read the book. So that's pretty slow, 50 words. So like I mentioned, the average speed is 250. So if we bump this up to 250 words per minute, which is the average speed, it takes a little bit for your eyes to speed up. So what you can do is 100 words per minute, or 150, then 200. And eventually, you'll be able to read no problem. And the nice thing about this is your eyes aren't darting back and forth, which wastes a lot of time reading. So you basically just look at that one space and away you go. Then, once you get used to that, you bump up the speed. You bump it up. Oh, that was 475 words. Oh no, it was 250. Okay, so let's go to 300 words. So you'll start to get the gist of it. Go back and watch this video again, and you'll see that your eyes will actually pick up what's being read. And then obviously you can go all the way up to 500 words. And because my eyes aren't used to this right now, it might be a little fast. But that's 500 words per minute. So that's how you can actually get good at doubling, even tripling your reading speed. So try that out. Try these methods out. They work for me. And again, if you're more familiar with the book, you can actually blow through the book a lot faster. So thanks a lot. I'll see you in another video.